In the last video, I showed you how to set up a CSB1 board in booster mode using the X installer and following the setup instructions available on the DCC-EX web page. The result was a booster with some characteristics that made it pretty useless for practical layout operation. As it turns out, I was not the only one running into this problem, and the good news is there is a solution to it. So in this update video, I show you how to change this setup to make it work. Hello everyone and welcome to the IoTT channel. I am Hans Tanner. A special welcome to all new subscribers and welcome back to everyone else. I am happy you made it here and thank you for your support of my channel. Let's start this video with fixing the problem and then talk a little bit about the reasons why I missed showing this solution in the last video. If you watched the video, you remember that I pointed out two problems that for me are showstoppers. First, there is no auto startup, meaning on a layout with several boosters, you would have to turn on each of them individually using either the serial port or web interface. And second, in case of a missing DCC signal, the output is changing to DC, which can cause all trains in the section to go off with full speed. These findings were confirmed in the first viewer comment, which was posted maybe an hour after the video went live. The comment came from Jonathan Thompson, who is the president of the Guernsey Valley Model Railroad Club in Cambridge, Ohio. He reported that they ran into the same problem when they switched their 20 scale miles 18 block section main line to DCC-EX. And he explained how they changed the configuration to avoid it. So here we go. At 7 minutes into the video, I pointed to the last two options in the list that brings up the automation and advanced configuration screen, shown at 7 minutes 30 seconds. Here is where a different setup is needed. Jonathan posted the necessary code changes and also pointed to a DCC-EX page that has the improved instructions. Thanks a lot for this information, Jonathan. What is needed is two additional sections in the MyAutomation.h file that let the booster react when the railsync signal changes. The two sections start with a callback which gets triggered when the railsync starts or stops detecting a valid DCC signal. In case the signal goes away, for example if the track power is turned off by the command station, the booster turns off track power and also switches to command station mode. This makes sense as it ensures that no DC is on the track should for whatsoever reason the power to the track be restored while the railsync input is still invalid. And in case the railsync comes back, the track is switched back to booster mode and power is turned on. With these settings, the booster now behaves like most boosters do. After starting up, the track power is off until a valid railsync is detected, then it is automatically turned on. And if railsync all of a sudden goes away, the track output is automatically turned off as it should. My showstoppers are resolved, and as I explained in the last video, it makes a lot of sense to use the open source information to order 5 boards, use one as command station, keep one as spare, and use the other 3 as boosters. When I ordered mine maybe a year ago, I paid about $30 per board, plus some shipping. Now, of course, I ask myself the question, why did I not figure it out already in the last video? Well, part of it certainly was that I primarily wanted to make a video showing how to set up a booster based on the available tools and instructions, kind of what the typical user is expected to do. That's why I used the X installer and not the Arduino IDE. Now, when you do that, what I showed in the video is what you get. Let me show you. I open the DCC-EX web page, then select EX-CSB1 Express from the menu, as that is what I want to set up. This brings up a nice description of the board, and it even talks about the booster mode. Click on that and you get detailed instructions how to set it up properly. You would think, but it's wrong. Now, as experienced user, maybe I should have thought about the possibility that there might be some callbacks for change of the railsync signal. I did not, but if I had, I would have opened the X-Rail reference page, which has an alphabetic list of all available commands. Callbacks start with on something, so I scroll down to look for something with on and maybe railsync or so. Okay, nice try. As I know now, there is an entire set of pages behind the pages, which has more correct information. The first is the one Jonathan pointed to, about the booster mode. It is in a section labeled with mkdoc-test. You decide for yourself which of these two URLs you would more likely consider to be the official documentation. Besides that, I have yet to find any link from the main page to the mkdoc-test section. There was an announcement about a new documentation back in December, but even in that announcement, I could not find any link to the new set of pages. That is sort of a pity, because the new version seems to be much more accurate. I even found a more complete list of X-Rail command descriptions, including the on-railsync callbacks. In the last video, I expressed my hope that the DCC-EX team picks up on my findings and fixes the problem. Well, instead they chose to pick on me in their Discord group, and the problem, which in turn is even smaller than I assumed it to be, up to this day has not been resolved. The CSB1 along with the DCC-EX software, however, in my view, is a very good product. And that's it for this update. I hope this information was useful or at least interesting for you and helps you to finally configure your CSB1 board in a way to make it a real good booster for your layout. If you like this video and this type of content, please click the like button below to let me know. It is a quick and easy way to support my channel, as it motivates YouTube to suggest this video to other model railroaders. And as always, if you do not want to miss videos in the future, make sure you subscribe to the channel and activate the notification function. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.